everyone, this is FantasyEsque, and welcome back to The Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are picking up with Princess Kyra after she has been given the very unexpected news of an arranged marriage. So what the heck is going on? Well, let's get back to the mini-movie. We started off with Queen Eden and Lady Catalea, royal wife Catalea. Outside they were talking, and Catalea was saying that there is something important she wished to discuss in regards to Kyra. There is a friend that she has from before she joined the court who is a matchmaker in the demon faction, and she has a proposal for Princess Kyra. And then Queen Eden, she essentially said that if it's a friend of yours, then I trust them because I flip and trust you, and I'm completely, hoodwinked by you. But that happened, and she asked Catalea to tell her more. So they continued their own private little discussion, and they made up their minds in regards to this without really discussing with anyone else. Just between the two of them, they decided, and that is that. So then the queen took Kyra aside to tell her this decision of hers, and Kyra, expectedly, was not too happy that out of nowhere she's having this arranged marriage to a hybrid demon prince that she doesn't even know. He's a complete stranger. And the queen said, well, before I wouldn't have, but Lord Channing is long gone. He's dead now. You don't really have anyone you're involved with, so I don't see what's wrong with me wanting to arrange your marriage with someone else. And Kyra was saying, but that doesn't mean you can just pair me up with whoever, and this prince is a complete stranger. We don't know anything about him. And the queen kind of ended the discussion by saying, I, like your second mother, can vouch for him. I trust her, and I've made my decision. This is a political arrangement. You don't really have a choice. So that's where things have been left at. I feel as though Eden wanted to tell Kyra first, and then probably, tell it to everyone else, so maybe keep it in the down low for a little bit. But while she's been speaking to Kyra, Catalea has been spreading the news or, whisperings between the servants and everyone else in the castle, in the court, that Kyra is having an arranged marriage with this hybrid demon prince. And so as Kyra's going back inside, everyone's kind of looking at her because everyone knows that Kyra is getting her marriage arranged with someone else. And this is kind of big because no princess has ever had, in the Salazar Empire and its history, a marriage arranged with anyone. I mean, all the ladies within the coven have chosen their own partners once, they have been the leading kind of generation, and they've also pursued their own romances without being nudged by anyone else. Any of the marriages that have taken place, it's been of, their own volition, whereas this is the first time an arrangement is being done, and, Kyra's not too happy about it, but the queen's adamant that it is for the empire and the good of the empire, and she doesn't really... she doesn't want to make Kyra miserable, but at the same time, I think Eden is quite besotted with Catalea. Catalea has made this kind of proposition to her and kind of made it look as though it is really good for Kyra's future and the future of the empire. And, it'll be good for Kyra, especially after Channing's gone, so she'll stop mourning him. So the queen's kind of bought into that, and she believes she's doing what's right for Kyra, and Kyra just can't see it just yet. So we are picking up over here to see how everyone else is kind of dealing with this. I feel like people are whispering, but they're whispering under their breaths and they're staring at Kyra, but they don't want to say anything to Kyra just yet, because it's a bit of a surprise to anyone, just like it is for Kyra. So okay, let's dive on in and check up on our Sims. First of all, I want to mention that Eve has actually managed to become a Grand Master. So she is now completely immune to sunlight, and all she's doing is waiting for her birthday, which is a while away, actually. Her birthday is going to be not this coming Saturday. Diana's aging up then. It's the Saturday, after. So she has to wait until that point in time before, she can have a sparring match with the champion and then be officially qualified to challenge the queen. So yeah, she's kind of done everything she needs to do. I'm kind of glad for that, because then the focus can be on Diana once she's a teen, and I feel like the ages are kind of being staggered, which is really good. So I've got that going. But let's pick up with Bloom. Now Bloom has been wanting to befriend Lady Delphi, and I feel like this is because she met Eve along with Ice when Delphi was with her, and so in Bloom's mind, Delphi is someone who is close to her sister Eve, and she feels like, to please Eve, she should try and maintain that closeness, or she should try and communicate with Delphi more. So she is going to go ahead and do exactly that. She's going to try and be a bit more approachable. She's going to be proactive, because I feel like the image I get for Bloom is that she is very proactive when it comes to wanting to please Eve. And I think by this point she has kind of surmised that Eve prefers to be left alone most of the times, but Eve will be quite happy with her if she is, connecting with people that Eve has in her own social circle. So Bloom's gonna go. She's gonna try and befriend Delphi. And I mean, hey, this is great for Delphi, right? She's making all these friends. Did she manage to befriend Kyra? I think so. And then she managed to befriend Eve and such. Let's see. Yeah, Kyra and Diana and Eve. So that's good for her. And now another princess wants to get close to her. Juno seems to be the only one who's not very interested in what Delphi is doing. Let's talk about cloudy weather. Let's ask for some typing tips. Why not? Why not? Okay. I feel like this is very good for Delphi, especially because, Delphi's still a teen. She's got all this responsibility that her title gives her, but if you think about it, she's just a teen. It's a lot of responsibility to have on your shoulders. So I think it's nice that the different princesses are wanting to befriend her, but also they all have their own reasons for doing it. If I had to think of who's really being genuine out of these friendships, I feel like Kyra, Diana, and Bloom, I do feel like they are being quite genuine in their friendship with her. Obviously Bloom and Diana, they're doing it because their older sisters are doing it, and, they want to make a good impression on their older sisters. But Eve is the only one who is doing it for calculative reasons. Like, she's befriended Delphi, but I don't think, if worse comes to worse, she would be willing to sacrifice anything for Delphi. I wouldn't say Eve is cruel. I just feel like, I don't know. She seems like a bit of a cold character to me. She's not evil or anything like that. She's just different. She's different, and she keeps I feel like at this point she keeps a distance from people because people have kept their distance from her. And it's kind of been drummed into her that she isn't normal, and so people aren't always going to have her best interests at heart, so she should have her best interests at heart. It's kind of the vibe I get from Eve. Anyways, you continue, Bloom. You continue. Also, guys, I have to say, I have become quite impressed with Lady Lucille, because remember how I was saying beforehand, Lucille needs to make friends because I'm like forgetting her name and everything? Well, guess what, guys? I was checking up on Lucille, and she has managed to befriend Lady Guinevere. Lady Guinevere, who is supposed to be one of the most difficult people in the coven to befriend because she just has the teeniest social circle and she's overly judgmental of everyone. She managed to befriend her. So I'm actually really happy for Lucille. She has one friend on her side, and be honest, if Guinevere likes her, then I definitely like her. Because I really adore Guinevere. She's my favorite character. Okay, track down Delphi. Track her down. Track her down, Bloom. You need to make sure that you are friends with her. Friends. You cannot abandon this project until you make some headway. So give her a hug. Why not? Give her a hug. Talk about the cool temperature. Discuss your interests. That's right, Delphi. Don't walk away from the princess. Tell an outrageous story. Look at her. She's so sweet. She's young. She's trying to get close to you. Don't annoy her. Let's talk about toys. There we go. There we go. And talk about favorite animal. It's the ghost of Sage! Sage, my boy. Oh my goodness. Lord Sage. Lord Sage. My favorite male who just had to die and leave me in utter sadness. But everyone's adjusting. Life goes on. Things happen. And look, it's Griffin! It's the ghost of Griffin and Sage, floating in opposite directions. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that makes me sad to see. That makes me sad. And I don't think I've put up a screenshot of either of them just yet. I'll have to do it soon, but I was going through some stuff, and there was a screenshot of those two, and they look so beautiful in that screenshot. So, so beautiful. I wonder if we'll have anyone like them in the next. And I think they were also special because, you know, they were the only set of twins we had this time around. Like, last generation, every flippin' pregnancy resulted in twins, but Guinevere was the only one who had a set of twins this time around, so I feel like that made her sons even more special. And therefore I am even more heartbroken. But hey. But hey. And I know some of you, you were not really affected by their deaths, but more affected by the death of Channing, because we were really rooting for Channing and Kyra to be together. And I mean, I was as well, but now we have this situation with Kyra having an arranged marriage. I don't know if the younger princesses are thinking too much about it, at least not Bloom. I feel like because Bloom has come here so recently, maybe she's not too aware of, you know, how things have run in the past and the kind of lifestyle everyone has had. So in her mind, if you look at recent history, the queen has had 2 marriages. So for her, she's thinking that this whole arrangement thing is normal, and that's kind of what happens. And she's young enough that it doesn't affect her, but then she's also old enough to maybe expect this is how things work and that it's fine. And, you know, she wasn't here to witness the development of Kyra and Channing's romance. She hasn't exactly been privy to, you know, even the Edmund situation or Delphi and George, or even Juno pining over Sage and then also having Griffin as a side. Yeah, she hasn't been privy to any of this. So I don't think she's entirely worried about what Kyra's feeling, you know? She's kind of tunnel visioned right now. Tunnel vision with what Eve wants. Okay, and Diana, she doesn't really have anything going on with her. Okay, Delphi, she's been wanting to chat with Lady Catalea. Now, even though Delphi herself isn't necessarily tied to the demons, I mean, I suppose that's not true. Her birth was the result of demons. Her half-brother George, who, you know, she has a thing with, he is a demon. And also, Kyra is a friend of hers, one of the first friends she made in the Coven, even if she is now leaning more and more towards Eve. So I feel like she's kind of intrigued by this whole arranged marriage business with the demon faction. And for various reasons, she's, you know, connected to it, to them, to the lineage. So she's wanting to figure out a bit more about what's happening. She can't help but be curious. because, you know, she's personally never had any dealings with them, but George's father was from the demon faction. He, like George himself, he is a demon, you know, hybrid. And then Kyra's a friend of hers. So where is Catalea? Let's go and speak to Catalea, because Catalea is the one who arranged this whole thing. So Delphi's gonna go out, and you know, she's a little bit older as well than Bloom. So where Bloom just has no curiosity about it, if it concerned Eve, then I feel like she'd be jumping over herself to figure out what's happening. But since it doesn't, her thoughts are elsewhere. Whereas Delphi, she's got interesting connections with everyone. She's got like a little bit of friendship with everyone. So she wants to know. She wants to know what's going on. So let's chat with Catalea and see if Catalea tells you anything. But then again, she's not that close with Catalea, so I don't know what she will. But it's no secret, you know, it's no secret exactly. So she's probably gonna give as much information as she has let it slip with everyone else. And I feel like with Kyra, she was already hesitant about it, or she didn't like she didn't like the idea. But I think Kyra is almost like, you know, put the nail on the coffin by telling everyone else that it is happening, because now there's this expectation. But come on, let's come here and talk to her. Gossip about what the parents have decided and discussed. Delphi, why are you walking around in circles? Go talk to Catalea. Go talk to Catalea. I don't know what you're doing, walking around in circles. Go on, go on. Go chat, go chat. So what do you guys think Eden was thinking? What do you reckon was going on in Eden's mind? I feel like she has agreed to this whole arrangement because obviously she's hoodwinked by Catalea, and Catalea brought this, so she's thinking, why not? I'm wondering if it's also because of all the recent stuff that's happened. It's kind of made Kyra and Juno stand... I don't know, I feel like it's made Kyra and Juno stand out as, you know, the two descendants that people want to be the next rulers, especially Juno, even Kyra. And I think maybe the queen is a little bit fearful that if things keep going this way and this whole purist thing continues, then her other 4 daughters are gonna have it bad. And so she's trying to, I don't think sabotage is the right word, but I think she's trying to take the purity thing down a notch by, you know, marrying Kyra with someone who is not a pure Salazar or is not a pure vampire from the Empire. She wants to try and get her involved with some sort of hybridness, you know, some sort of outside force, so that she can't continue on this anti-visitant crusade, because, you know, she's matched with a hybrid as well. She's married to a hybrid, so how can she say stuff about the visitants? There's also a foreigner that, more or less, you know, is in her bed. So I think that's what's going on with the queen. She's becoming a bit wary of some of her daughters for the sake of other ones. Hi. Okay. Now, Eve. Eve has been wanting to chat with Lord Jacob, who has recently aged up into a teenager. And in case you guys are wondering, Jacob is Elaine's one and only son. So where is he? Here we go. Let's take a look at him. There we go. This is Lord Jacob Dragon. He just aged up into 18. So actually, I want to get Kyra to invite him over so that we can take a look at him and socialize with him a bit more. Also, can you go inside? Yep, okay, he's gonna go inside, nice, and then we'll take a closer look at him. So come on. We know that Eve has been actively trying to maintain her relationship with everyone who used to be in her companion group, but they got moved up into Kyra's. Even though, you know, they shouldn't really be in her circle anymore, every time they age up or something like that happens, she tries to reconnect with them and I feel like remind them that, you know, they started off being friends with her. So let's hold on a second. Let me just... Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where is he? I did reset him, but where'd he go? Okay, he's over here, which we can't really get that great of a look at him. Really, bud? Out of all the places, this is where you are? There we go. Okay, so this is Jacob Dragon, Elaine's son. He looks so much like Elaine. If you look at his face, he's got his father's skin tone. He's got the characteristic golden hair. And he's got the blue eyes, which both his parents have. But look at his face. He looks so much like Elaine, doesn't he? So much like Elaine. But he's not evil like her. He's not. Okay, Eve, let's come and let's, yeah, show off your powers. Let's chat with him a little bit. Let's chat with him. Remind him that, you know, he shouldn't forget you. So, let's go do that. Come on, Jacob. Where'd he go? Jacob? Jacob, bud. Let's show off our powers. Why are you hiding? Okay, he's coming. He's coming. No need to worry. No need to worry. I'm also wondering how the people who have moved into Kyra's group are assimilating with her and the others. Because I feel like the personnel change was, you know, too sudden. Okay, what are you guys doing in the bathroom? I have no clue. I have no clue. But okay, let's chat with him a little bit. Out of curiosity, are you guys related in any way? I don't think so. I think actually he would be the Queen's cousin, wouldn't he? I think Jacob is the Queen's, yep, cousin. Okay. Okay, that's curious. That's curious. So that, because it's generationally messed up, let me tell you. Generationally. Okay, so she's managed to chat with him, and what's this? Stargaze the Juno. Well, it's the daytime, so you can't exactly do that, can you? Okay, well, she's kind of happy with that. And I think... Let me quickly see if anyone else has anything of particular interest going on. Nope, not really. Okay, I think... Actually, hold on. Fight with Elaine? Catalea! Catalea, what's going on? She wants to fight with Elaine? I mean, I know the enemies, but I kind of forgot because I feel like it's... We've been worried about other things. The enemy ship has kind of become Loki. But what? You want to fight with her? Okay, then. You know what? You know what it is? Probably Elaine has been one of the few people who's been speaking out against this match because Catalea introduced it, and she's probably making like snide remarks which the younger kids, they agree with. And so she's wanting to fight Elaine because she's kind of sick of the fact that Elaine is sabotaging her interests. So, Elaine, where'd you go? Where is she? Okay, Elaine's here. We'll fight her then. Let's go fight Elaine. Although this probably isn't... I suppose we have to... like, insult each other a little bit before we can get into a proper, fully fledged fight. Okay then. Okay then. No. Where are you going? Where are you going? Elaine? Elaine. Okay. I need you to come up to where Elaine is because right now you don't really like her. So let's, insult her fang size. Come on, let's go. Right. We're gonna insult her. We're gonna fight with her because we're annoyed right now. We're annoyed that Elaine is trying to sabotage your efforts, something that you've been working on for like ages at this point. So let's go. Let's deal with her. And you know, they have fought before, and I feel like all the times they fought, Elaine has always beat up Catalea. But then Catalea takes, you know, she kind of tucks her tail between her legs and then she goes running back to the queen. And remember last time, when was the last time they had a fight? I don't know whose wedding it was at. I feel like it was at someone's wedding reception. And I think at that time, was it during Catalea's wedding? I'm not too sure, but I feel like the sentiment was that, you know, even though Elaine beat Catalea, Catalea was still the queen's wife, and so she could, you know, complain to the queen if she wanted. But then on Elaine's side, it was like, okay, complain if you want, but my sister is also the queen's wife, and she's the first wife, so she'll probably have my back. So I think that was the situation before. Now it's a bit different, isn't it? Now it's a bit different. Okay, we don't want to apologize to her. Okay, we're gonna have a duel. We're gonna have a duel. So let's go outside, even though it's dangerous, out in the flippin' sun. Imagine if they died dueling this way. Wouldn't that be tragic? But then they would have no one to blame but themselves. Are they going outside? Yes, they are. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, Elaine's needs are not that great, so hopefully they can do this fight, get it over and done with, and go back inside. But right now, they've kind of thrown everything. They've thrown everything aside. They can't see straight right now. They just are really irritated by each other, and their honor has been challenged at this point. They're not going to back down. They're not going to back down. Look, Elaine beat Catalea again. Again. Okay, so let's rush back inside, please. Yes. Let's rush back inside, you two. Let's not stay here too long. Go back inside. Jeez, okay, that was scary. That was scary. And I don't know if anyone really saw that or noticed that, but yeah, these two are at each other's throats. And now, you know, Catherine, she isn't around anymore to protect Elaine. So I feel like Elaine has to be extra careful. Because what the heck's gonna happen if she, Okay, now Catalea wants to woohoo with Eden. See what I said? She loses, and then she tucks her tail between her legs, and then she goes running to the queen. That's Catalea for you guys. That is Catalea. Okay. Let's go running to the queen. Let's go running to the queen. And I feel like, especially because of this whole thing, Elaine's relationship with others is kind of important. I know she's got but then she did have an alliance thing going with Juno, but then, you know, Juno and Guinevere, they got suspicious that Elaine was hiding stuff from them, and that's kind of been brushed under the rug. She's kind of gotten away with it because other stuff happened. But what's going on with her now? Like, who is she partnered with at this point? Who are her friends? I want to know. Okay, so she's got a really good relationship with Guinevere, actually. Yeah, reasonable with Eden, but mainly Guinevere. So I think Guinevere, you know, she's smart enough to give credit to Juno when Juno was saying, you know, Elaine might be hiding something. She, along with Juno questioned Elaine, but at the same time, she doesn't have the same perception of Elaine that Juno does. She grew up with Elaine being the younger cousin, not cousin, but you know, being the younger one in a cadet branch, and Elaine was always kind of made out as the sweet young girl growing up. So she's never seen Elaine as calculative and vicious and, you know, cunning. If Juno had a suspicion, then it's a fair suspicion, but nothing was proven. Elaine denied it. And as far as Guinevere is concerned, let's leave it at that. Elaine has been a good friend, and she's been like a good scholar at the Coven. She helped them during the whole incident with Azura, so she's happy to kind of ignore this and keep Elaine in her good books. So right now, Guinevere is like the only connection Elaine has to relative safety, and I feel like it's kind of dangerous. Are you guys done? Done? That quick? Okay. They had their alone time. That's fine. She's feeling really happy right now. But yeah, Catalea, she has like way more friends. If you look at this, she's got way more friends than Elaine does, and I'm actually worried for Elaine, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I know she's the favorite for some of you. I'm quite worried. I hope Catalea doesn't do anything because of this. I mean, at this point, if Catalea were to try and kick her out, I don't know what kind of fight Elaine would be able to put up, because her strength has always been manipulating in the shadows, or, you know, in the darkness, and yeah, she doesn't have a lot going for her right now. Guys, guess who just wanted to become friends with Lady Lucille? Catalea over here, which I'm surprised by. I don't know what this friendship is for about. It doesn't seem to be going too well. Come on, hold on. Lucille, let's try and brighten her day. I mean, it does feel quite characteristic of Catalea, but, you know, up till this point, she kind of hasn't really cared much about Lucille. But maybe Lucille's been around long enough for her to gather that Lucille isn't gonna get in the way of her and the Queen, and she isn't after authority within the court because she's not necessarily trying to please anyone in power. So she feels like Lucille is a safe person to kind of disarm and get on her side. Like there's nothing overly dangerous about her. Maybe. That's the only thing I can really think of. But also, you know, in this time where she's trying to get something done for the demon faction with this arranged marriage, and then, you know, Elaine's against it and all of that, maybe she feels as though it's even more important to go out of her way and make sure that people feel good about this arrangement, that people have a positive sort of outlook on this whole arrangement, and that they aren't against it. Otherwise, it's just going to be more trouble for her. She needs to kind of make people understand that this is for the good of the Coven, and it's for the good of the Empire. The only reason stuff like this hasn't been done before is that we haven't had a chance to do this before. But now the situation is different. So why wouldn't we pursue something like this? And it's not like, you know, Channing's alive, or Kyra's with Channing. This is going to help her get out of sadness and such. So that's her. I found that kind of intriguing, so I wanted to jump in and, you know, take a look. But okay, I'm going to see how the youngsters are doing, and then we might invite some of the others over. We might even go out somewhere. I'll see. The Queen has taken the Coven to Elaine Gymnasium so that everyone can let off some steam, because it has become quite apparent that people are on edge. I mean, Kyra, we know, is not happy with the arrangement that's been happening. Catalea got into a fight with Elaine over this whole thing, and people, they just aren't happy, and their brains are kind of all over the place. The Queen thought, let's all go out, let off some steam, and this one here, Eve, she's getting some ideas already. So we know that Jacob aged up recently, and she was trying to speak to him earlier so that, you know, she can reinforce that friendship they used to have in their youth. And now she's had this want to flirt with Lord Jacob. So Eve has got some interesting ways of getting people's loyalty. Now, Daryl, he's not down here, and I don't know how Daryl would feel about this. I mean, a normal person would be a bit upset, wouldn't they, to see their partner flirting with someone else. But at the same time, Daryl, I don't know. The fact that he's pursuing a relationship with Eve might just mean that his sense of his sense of relationships are a little bit different to other people. But yeah, so she's gone ahead. She's been, she's flirted with him a little bit, and she feels like she's enticed him into maybe being a bit more curious about her and having his eye on her. I feel like she tries all sorts of different ways to get loyalty from people. Maybe she doesn't throw herself at them, but she knows people will be intrigued by her if she, plays her cards right. So there is that. And then she's been wanting to chat with Eden and reinforce her relationship with her royal mother, who is outside. So, she could ask Eden to mentor. Should she maybe ask Eden to mentor her? Actually, scratch that. Is Eden coming on inside? Okay, she's gonna ask her mother to mentor her. Why not? Why not? Although, hold on a second. I would rather she actually went and, I would rather she spoke to her mother. Why not? Let's show off some muscles. Let's show off our mother the accomplishments we've made, especially now that you are a grandmaster. So you're just as good as the older two daughters. And I'm sure your mother is going to be absolutely proud because she has doted on you quite a bit, especially when you were younger. Okay, so she's happy with that. I feel like Eve is going quite good. Kyra, well, now she has her own problems to deal with. Juno's been also going pretty good. And I know some of you were asking me because of, the past couple of episodes in regard to the whole composite thing, like the dangerous hybrids. The princesses, guys, are not affected. So, composites are very specific hybrids. Composites are not like Visitant Salazar vampire hybrids, no. When we talk about the princesses being half Visitant, we're saying they're culturally different. As in, there's different branches of vampires even. So the Visitant vampires are different to the Salazar vampires. So they're still pure vampires, the princesses. It's just that they're half Salazar and half Visitant, right? Like a foreign vampire. Whereas composites, they're actually hybrids in terms of being spellcaster and vampire. So they're and not just any spellcaster and vampire. So composites are specifically visitant spellcasters who have vampire lineage in them somewhere. That's a composite. And so like the princesses, they're not going to be affected when they're older. But Estelle, she is a visitant spellcaster who has vampire blood in her lineage, so she's definitely going to be affected. And like I said before, for them, males have a slightly lower chance of becoming composites because their magic is weaker, but females almost always result in composites because they're just magically stronger, so they've got more magic that will go unstable. Just a point of clarity. But if it still confuses you guys, let me know and I'll jump down in the comments and try to be a bit more clear about that. But yeah, these guys, the princesses, they're still pure vampires, but they are hybrid visitants. So it's like they've got two kinds of vampirism in them. But at the end of the day, they're still vampires. Kind of like races, not species. So with, the princesses, they're racially hybrids. Whereas with the, like Estelle, she's a hybrid species. So she's got, visitant spellcaster plus vampirism in her bloodline. So, in case you guys are confused, that's what's going on. Okay, what are you doing now? You're talking to Diana. That's fine and well. And oh, what's this? Bloom wants to chat with Nixon about something. She wants to become friends with Lord Nixon. Well, that's kind of cute. But you are hungry, my child. You are hungry. And I suppose I could go feed you. But that's nice to know that she wants to become friends with Nixon. That's Cataleya's son. Anyone else? How are they doing? Anyone have any interesting whims you'd like me to work out? Nope. Okay, it seems as though Bloom and Nixon. That's kind of cute. That's good. So he is like her stepbrother. Nixon is her stepbrother, and she wants to befriend him. And I think they're in the same friendship group. Yeah, they're all in Eve's Companions. Okay, that's nice. Well, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.